Well, guys, I think there's only one way to start this show off. We do it like this. Teachers, are you ready for the funniest podcast on earth? That's right. Coming up first is your man. He's a board teacher favorite. One of the sexiest teachers in the world, I might add. Give it up for KC Mack!
Honey, this is the podcast. You have to get it together.
Dude, have you been drinking? I mean, I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it is 9 a.m. right now.
Nah, man, that's how you do it. You got to, energy. Y'all know how I do it on the tour. You got to kick it up. Okay, wait, I know what y'all need. I know what you need. Hold on, that's like, my bad. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers and friends, repliers and reply-allers. You know what I was doing? See what I was doing there?
I think we need to get him a pillow, some water. He needs to sleep it off a little bit. What is in that cup?
I know. Casey, this is the podcast.
Lie. Tito's. What? Listen, guys, this is the brand new season of the Teacher Off Duty podcast, but it's the comedy takeover. And with me, I have the very hilarious Andrea Caspari. Look at her, looking so good. Hey. The very talented Jay Yoder. And again, I am KC Mack. Now listen, as host of the Board Teachers Comedy Tour and MC, man, we've had a great time.
Yeah.
And the great people at Board Teachers decided to let the comedians take over.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here.
We're here.
And we're going to do our thing, man. We got a lot. This podcast is going to be something like you guys have never seen before. We're going to be sharing stories that you guys sent in, funny stories, because the teachers, we still got to stay connected. We're going to be sharing stories from your favorite teacher comedians that you see on tour.
That's us.
Yes.
Right?
That's us.
And we got a lot of stories. It's just funny stories that happens on the road and behind the scenes. So, man, you guys, trust me. Season 4, you're going to want to be a part of this takeover. Comedy style, board teachers. And speaking of the tour, hey, we have a lot of great places that we're going to be visiting, man, and we can't wait to make these teachers laugh. We are going to Albuquerque, Tucson, Phoenix, Anaheim, Saginaw, Cincinnati, Skokie, Bloomington, Riverside, Iowa, Northwood, Rockford, St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Come on, man. That list. If you want to know the states, look on this little line right here. I wasn't about to name off the states, too. I mean, come on. We only have 30 minutes. But no, please get your tickets, man, because if you haven't been to a Board Teachers Comedy Tour, then I don't even know what to say.
And if you have, let's get back in the
come on back
in the seats.
We get a lot of people that come back. It's a lot of repeat offenders, we call them.
They do. They come back. They want to see it again.
Yes, because you can always tell because they'll have the shirts from last year.
Yes. Yes, they're like season 1.
And listen, today's episode is substitute stories that will blow your mind. But before we get into that, man, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves to the wonderful teachers out there.
Hello, my friends. My name is Andrea Caspari, and I've been doing comedy from Kansas City is where I started, 22 years, but I've been teaching for 20. So, teaching high school English,
Lord
which is
Jesus.
a lot scarier than getting on stage. So, yeah. And I also have a dry bar that just dropped in April.
Oh,
so check it out. Check it
out.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool.
And I'm Jay Yoder. I am out of the suburbs of Philadelphia. I've been a teacher for 19 years. That blows my mind. I can't even imagine. And I'm actually, as far as a comedian, I was born from the pandemic. I was, we're lighting ourselves on fire to keep everybody warm. And I was like, we need to laugh more. We had a club, Soul Joel's, that was open all during the pandemic outdoors. And that's where I started making people laugh.
But no, I've been doing comedy 18 years now. 18 years.
Wow.
And like I said, been teaching 9. Originally from Topeka, Kansas.
Yes.
Really?
By way of Dallas, Texas. And I just moved to Houston, Texas.
Hey, yes, he did.
Because I'm in love. Never mind. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Let's talk about these substitute
and
stories that will blow
amazing.
your mind.
She's amazing.
Hey, Dr. Natalie Hudson. Anyways, I'm sorry. Shameless plug.
Hi, Natalie.
Shameless plug. Okay, here we go. So listen, man, you guys have sent in some crazy stories. Remember, if you want to have your stories read, send them in. We're going to put a way that you guys can send your stories in. It's going to be right. I keep telling them this.
It could be
This
right
thing,
here.
whatever this
I'm
is.
freestyling all
Right
this. I did not have permission to say this, but we're going to make this work because we got some very talented people that are going to be working.
Yep.
But yes, if you want to send your stories in, because we can't wait to laugh at them, because definitely all these stories are crazy, right?
They're mind-blowing,
Crazy.
for sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick off the first one. And this story reads, and again, we cannot make this stuff up. In high school, we had a sub that would immediately take our food. Punk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He would throw it in the trash, or she would throw it in the trash and send us to the principal's office if we were eating chips during class.
No.
That's wasteful.
Right?
Wasteful.
What? After school, I saw her next to the dumpster, behind the dumpster, smoking a cigarette and eating all of our chips that she confiscated.
What?
Was this a sub or a raccoon? What's going on here?
Wow, a raccoon with a cigarette.
Come on, man.
Cigarettes, like, what is 1970s? She got to be at least
She's just
vaping.
back there like, oh, yes, yes.
First of all, now listen, I know the education system is getting bad, but it's not that bad. We got to sneak kids' chips and smoke a cigarette outside by the dumpster. Like,
Oh, I can't believe that somebody sent that in.
Newports and a Taki at the end of the day.
I love that. What's the rule? I mean,
the rule is, first of all, take all those chips, trust me, because I know.
Yeah.
And you got to hide them in a secret container.
Yeah.
And you take that said container and put it in your car. You drive off the premises, and then you can smoke and eat the chips, and nobody can catch you, and therefore nobody can send in this story.
Okay, so your
That's
only
right.
problem was the dumpster.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the dumpster's kind of gross.
Yeah, the dumpster's pretty much my only issue. It's a
Yeah.
fire hazard.
Hence
Yeah.
the raccoon.
It's the raccoon. That's just like,
What else we got next?
So, when I was in high school, my geometry teacher was out of class for a week because she was doing something for her master's degree. So, we had a sub. It was raining that week, and this guy was wearing those shoes that had individual toes. I can smell this story. Okay. Okay. He also had the toe socks to go with it. Oh, my God.
Wait, so he had the individual toe shoes with the individual
With the toe socks.
So
I didn't
toe
think you even
shoes-
wear socks with those.
I guess you can. Toe shoes, toe socks, no friends. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy sounds like a winner.
He sounds single. There's no woman that
Can
will
you
ever date.
imagine the extra fabric and time it takes to put those on? You
Oh
kidding
my
me?
God. Like, why? Okay, but here's the best. Okay, he rode his bike to school in the rain and his socks were wet every day. Okay, this is too much. So he would take them off and put them in the microwave to dry them off. I thought that just the shoes were bad, but he put them in the microwave. The sock.
Have you ever seen a faculty room microwave? Who knows what's been in that thing? It's like a war zone in there.
So gross. When my teacher came back the next week, we told her and she threw the microwave out. Good call.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting up here choked up because the microwave has been such a great friend to me in my life,
Yeah.
in my career. And how dare you violate that sanctuary
That's right.
with
Right.
some muddy, wet toe socks? And first of all, that's just weird. But that's where my Hot Pockets go,
I was
man.
going to say, that and
It goes Jesus, Hot Pockets, and you violated.
The sacred space. But then from then on, she kept a sign on the microwave that said for food only. Because that had to be designated.
yeah, that's like
You
coffee
should-
is hot. Like, what are we
Yeah,
doing
I
here?
know.
That's like-
This is really
You
gross.
shouldn't even have to say that at that point.
Yeah.
Food. What you got, Jay?
All right. Okay, this is a great one. So I once had a regular sub that was so bad and so mean. Well, they're always mean.
Yeah.
Every time she covered our class, so one of our classmates somehow got a hold of her phone number to prank her during class.
Uh-oh.
So the next time she came in, we were calling her phone the entire period. And of course, she would pick up every single time. She pretended she was so cool and important. She would go outside to pick up. We would all be dying laughing inside, making weird noises on the phone. She would come back in and be like, "It's my business partner. I run a side business to accompany moms who just had a baby. We just had one of our clients have a baby, so I'm going to rush over there after school."
That's like so elaborate for her to come up with. Don't you think that's like almost too specific?
She was the one in high school where her boyfriend went to another school.
Yeah,
That's who she was.
He lives in Canada.
They would just play this game the entire period, and she would just act like she had important business, and we never laughed so hard in our
Wait a
entire
minute.
life.
What grade level was that?
So it did
don't
not
know.
say. It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be high school.
middle or high school.
Okay, okay, because it's fun. Okay. Well, the problem with me is, why do you feel that you have to flex?
Yeah.
On
Every
some
time you
kids.
just take the
Like you want to impress high schoolers?
These are the people who want to be friends with the kids. That's the problem.
Oh,
They want to seem cool.
Yeah.
They're the ones who let them do all the other nonsense in class that nobody else would. They're just they want a friend.
They're the ones who cuss and think it's cool.
She should meet up with the guy with the toe socks. And they should.
Definitely. They need each other at
Then
this
they
point.
can homeschool their kids.
Oh my God, yes.
'Cause
I would homeschool, but I don't know how to French braid.
Because he's like, because she's like, he could be looking at her and be like, okay, so you have your own business? Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Entrepreneur.
I love it.
My
You should run a DECA together.
My socks have individual toe holes.
Why do I feel like, when the woman threw the microwave out, she picked it up?
Somebody's getting them a microwave in their registry.
Wait,
one for their toes and one for their food.
Two microwaves on the registry. Two microwaves.
And they threw it out in the dumpster that the same sub was smoking a cigarette, eating chips.
That's right.
They had a whole kitchenette right by the dumpster. Oh,
these
Lord.
stories.
It's too much, you guys.
golly.
And these are all true. Like, that's what's really sad and scary about it. I mean, funny.
This one is hilarious. I once witnessed a substitute teacher get into a legit brawl with our principal.
Oh, man.
I love the fact they said legit brawl.
Legit
brawl.
Not like a brawl that could be mistaken for any other
This
kind of
was
brawl.
a legit
but
brawl.
a legit brawl.
A slobber knocker.
They went to fisticuffs.
Toe to toe, baby. Oh, toe sock to toe sock.
Look at that. It said the sub kept giving us busy work the entire class and kept leaving every 10 minutes, right?
Okay.
So, and every 10 minutes he would come back. So about after 30 minutes, the next time he left, one of my friends followed him, went to the bathroom, found out that he was vaping in the bathroom, right?
Okay.
So as the friend was coming back to the classroom, the principal caught him in the hallway and asked him, hey, what were you doing? My friend told him. And then when the substitute was coming back to class, the principal said, hey, there's been reports of you vaping in the bathroom.
Okay.
The substitute denied it, but reeked of THC.
Oh, biscuit.
The principal told him to come to the office, and as he was about to walk to the office, he pulled his phone out. The principal pulled the phone out to call the cops. The substitute knocks the phone out of the principal's hand. The principal pushes it back, and they begin to wrestle. And the sub puts the principal in an arm bar
Oh, my God.
and almost breaks his arm. It was crazy because I later overheard the parents saying that the sub was an MMA fighter on roids with a police record, and he somehow lied to get the job. And when the principal threatened to call the police, he went into a roid rage.
Oh, my
That's
God.
hard
You guys,
to say.
this is too much, but my only question is, does anybody have his number? Because I need a sub next month.
Do you imagine? They're giving busy work. Yeah, that's what they do. And he needed to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes because he was taking his medication. What state was this from?
And the beautiful part about it, nowhere in the story did it say any of the teachers aided the principal.
You got this. You got this.
Good job.
I want to help, but you know what? He wrote me up last week,
Yes.
They're like the kids all just filming it. Like, oh, this is going to
I
be great
love it. They're just
later.
standing around, and then suddenly it's on
Kinda gonna let
Instagram and stuff.
Let's just let the cards fall.
It's a TikTok. Okay, so I have a really funny one. You guys, this one is so relatable. Okay, guys, just wait. This one is so relatable because, all right, just wait, you'll see. All right, I had a sub once that I never saw again after that day, and you'll quickly understand why. So the dude literally walked into the classroom like he was walking on stage at the local comedy club, grabbed a whiteboard marker that he pretended was a microphone, held it in front of his face, and did a full 15-minute comedy set in front of our class. Okay, if you're going to do it, it's a captive audience. Why not? Making fun of other teachers and students and saying some pretty borderline stuff to a group of teenagers. Okay. But that's not all. It gets better. Even though half my classmates heckled him the entire time, he stood up there pretending that our classroom was an improv comedy club. Okay, what's the problem here?
Well, somebody
Right.
got a hold of my story, and it's not okay. It's not okay.
It does say Jay Yoder. I love it. Submitted by Jay Yoder. Oh, that's great.
Look, this whole time I was like, I don't see the problem here. That's
You guys, I know. I'm like, this is
Stage time
perfect.
is stage time, Andrea.
Thank you. You need that.
You need that. Everybody needs that. Okay.
I just hate the fact that he was bombing in front of the. That's the part for me.
Okay, but can I just tell you, people are always like, oh, are you scared to get on stage and stuff? Like, and they're like, have you ever been heckled? I said, nothing that somebody in first block hasn't said to me. I get heckled before 8 a.m. more than I ever have on stage. Like, I mean, seriously, teaching is the best practice for doing stand-up.
The crazy part is, it's like, if the curriculum wouldn't get in the way, teaching would be a pretty cool job, because we could just get up there and just tell jokes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what comedians do. Where your premises come from honesty, they come from truth,
Yes.
they come from what's happening.
Yes.
We're the school of life. This is Hard Knocks.
It is.
Why do they have to learn reading and writing and
I
math?
know. And science and math.
Can't they just learn how to tell jokes?
That's
Yes.
right.
It's got me through life.
I mean,
Look at me now, Mom.
Look at
Right.
me now. You could have your own podcast, kids. That's great. Well, half of them want to be an influencer. Half of them do. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So this is good
Yeah, but
practice.
you can ask Google and Siri all of these mundane facts that we had to memorize and memorize. But you ask Siri to tell you a joke, it is lame. Do it right now. I promise
It's
you.
true.
You ask Siri a joke, she's going to tell you something lame.
It's true. And they say that AI, one of the only things that they can't do right now, they cannot do comedy. They can't
Right.
understand sarcasm.
Right.
So AI can do everything. And so my kids use it for their papers and stuff. And I'm just excited they're turning work in. But
Yeah.
yeah, but if they try to add humor, it doesn't work out.
I use AI to write my resignation letter. It was so
worked.
captivating the way it was able to capture the way that I wanted to see.
essence.
Yes.
So heartfelt.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
so great. I love it.
But
I
you're
love
right, it cannot do jokes.
They
I
can't
tried.
do jokes. That's the one thing.
I was like, yeah, that's not funny.
Oh, I love it.
Do you guys have any personal sub stories?
My favorite sub story is actually my aunt just told me this the other day. She started subbing for a Christian school.
Oh, man.
And when they came in, they were doing active shooter drills that day.
Ooh.
But they went all out simulation, and she's like, "Yeah, I locked the door. We put the table in front, but there was a lab door in the back that the lock was broken."
Oh.
And she's like, "Yeah." Pastor Brad came in with the super soaker.
Oh,
He went full out. Like, he went full out, squirted her and everything. She's like,
No.
I got taken down by Pastor Brad.
Oh, my God.
Was there holy
Nerf
water?
gun?
I think
Was
it
it
was
holy water in
Sacramento.
there?
Yeah, I think it was Sacramento. But they went all out. I was like, all right, have fun with it. Have fun
I
with it.
released the demons from you.
Release the demon. I love it. So I'm from Missouri, and a few years ago, I mean, we've been so desperate for subs. And a few years ago, right after the pandemic, they changed the sub requirements to 18 with a heartbeat. Oh, no, just kidding. But close.
Right.
18 with a high school diploma.
Wow.
And I was so desperate for a sub, I actually talked to this kid. I said, Jacob, I know you graduate in December, and I need a sub in March. Can you come back and sub your own class? And he said yes. But I feel like it was important because I had a Snoop Dogg concert. So it was only an emergency. It was a birthday weekend. We had fun.
I mean, we're talking about some, sub stories that would blow your mind, but I mean, in all actuality, it's such a shortage of subs. Like it's like we can get, like, we'll take anybody on this paper. We'll still take them and hire them because we need it. It's that bad.
I wish there were numbers after this that just had the subs listed. They should have included them.
Exactly. Yes.
we
exactly.
have a list, a roster.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
I will fly you in just to sub. That's how bad it is.
For real.
I think it's give admins some perspective because admins now has to cover classes where they wouldn't normally have had to. So I think now it's given some perspective. I know in our building for the principals to go into some of these classes, they tell you what
And they
to
have
do.
to watch. They
But
have
now
to-
they got to
yeah.
get on the front lines and they're like, oh, well, that didn't work. Yeah, no duh. We've been telling you that at all these meetings, and now they get a taste of what it's like to be in the classroom today.
That's amazing.
Not 10 years ago for 6 months when they got started.
That's where they need to be.
The
Front line.
district, they sent us a whole, the entire staff email, and they was like, we need subs so bad. If you guys know anybody, family members, people, and I was like,
Oh, dang.
definitely not. I would definitely never have anybody in my family sub because trust me, you don't want that.
I know this great MMA fighter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
My
that's
grandma,
funny.
you imagine people in your family trying to sub?
No. Oh no.
My grandmother, she would be the one trying to feed the kids. Like,
Yes.
that baby look hungry.
Yeah, right.
Like,
But then you know what she would do with that spoon if you got out of line.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hit
the
him with a
wooden
spoon.
spoon.
Grandma, you cannot be a sub.
There was a sub at
Yeah.
a school near me that had an issue because they tried to put duct tape on the kid because he wouldn't be quiet.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Duct tape him where?
Like on his mouth, tried to shut him up.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
That's really scary.
Well, then you would have to do the hands
You would
and
have
the
to,
wrists.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
It's a whole, yeah.
yeah, and then you would
It's a
have to
whole process.
find a. No, I can't go there. Okay, so this.
Yeah, that's going to be a no from me.
Just
No.
go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Somebody read a story quick.
I've been a diabetic for 15 years. So many subs have confiscated my phone and sent me down to the counselor for misusing my phone, who would just let me hang out in her office and have my phone brought down to me. But one time, my CGM app beeped during class, and when a sub and I had to take out my phone to monitor my sugar levels. When the sub saw me misusing my phone, she personally escorted me to the counselor's office, who told her she could go back to class, where she left the rest of my class unattended without notifying any other teachers in the hallway. But the sub wouldn't leave until I was punished for my wrongdoings.
Oh, Lord.
So the counselor called the principal, and she was fired on the spot for almost causing a severe medical injury. Now the janitors and night crew are subbing at our school.
Oh, Biscuit.
You know
We
what?
have the coolest. I just have to give a shout out to our custodians because they are thebomb.com.
Hey,
No, but like that's the problem. I hear the problem. I wonder how old this sub is.
Yeah.
Because the concept of the phone, and they're like, oh yeah, you're texting your mom. Oh yeah, you're checking your sugar levels. I think there's an issue of like the Flintstones trying to meet the Jetsons here, and it's just like nobody quite understands. So you err on the side of coming down stern and hard because they're busy watching like all these movies where the kid is like a welcome back Cotter, and they're like, no, I'm going to shut you down. Yeah. And that's the problem. They don't know that these kids are really using this app but it's causing all sorts of issues. I know in the SATs now they have to those kids get put in a special room because you can't have like technology out, but it's life-saving technology now that kids can check their blood sugar like that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, when you first started saying this, I was thinking the teacher really should have left a note for the sub. Like, I like to leave notes for the sub. Please make sure, like, I like to do preferred names and pronouns and anything that they're going to need to know about certain students. Like, they have to leave it to check their blood sugar, that kind of stuff. But then you also get into that whole privacy issue too.
Yeah.
You can't really say Jimmy has diabetes or something like that. So I don't know. This is a rock and a hard place. What do you guys think?
It's tough. I mean, it's hard. We actually in our school would leave. I didn't realize this at first, but I would every year get a Capri Sun and like some crackers, and I just kept eating them, thinking they were snacks from the PTA.
Oh no!
They were for my kid.
meanwhile, there's some kids going into diabetic
You're
shock.
eating all of the
I
kids.
thought it was a snack.
It was a snack, but it wasn't for you.
Going into diabetic
man.
shock.
And then he goes into shock. He's eating everybody's
Yeah, well,
food.
it happens.
I love it. Capri Suns are the bomb, though.
But who reads all
Guys.
those? You read when you leave those plans. You think they sit down and read the whole thing?
Oh, I know they don't, because every time I come back, I have an untouched stack of stuff. I'll stay after for like an hour and a half making copies and doing lesson plans, and then I come back and it's untouched. And one time, just a few weeks ago or a few months ago, the kids were like, "Thanks for leaving the Lego movie." Y'all, it was EOC end of course exam prep. It was untouched, and the kids watched the Lego movie. Somebody hooked their stuff up to the projector in 2 different classes.
Well, hey,
They thought I left. I was like, yeah, I have the best taste in movies. What?
We had a sub, Mr. Janda. Shout out to Mr. Janda. I don't know if he's still kicking, but he was awesome. He would fail safe. You would leave a plan, never happen.
Yeah.
But the boys would learn how to tie a tie.
Yes.
And then he would talk about the time he won a gazebo on The Price is Right, and then show the episode.
So
I just love the word gazebo.
Economics and tying ties.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
life learning
these
skills.
are life
Those
lessons,
are life
and
lessons.
nobody messed with him. He was like the golden sub that you're like, and you're like, oh, okay, well, they're gonna know how to tie a tie tomorrow. So
that's actually cool.
That's actually really cool.
Did you learn how to conjugate them verbs? No, but I know how to change a tire.
that's right.
Those are life lessons.
That's
Kids
life
need
lessons.
those skills. What class are they learning that in? That's good.
I have a diabetic story that actually runs in with
Oh,
this
sure.
one. When I was in the 7th grade, I had a substitute one day, when I was not feeling well at all. I raised my hand and said to her verbatim, "May I go to the nurse? I'm high."
Oh. Uh-oh, Lord.
Her face fell. I wasn't even comprehending that what I was saying could have been misunderstood. I am a type 1 diabetic. I was saying that my blood sugar was elevated.
Yeah.
Since she was unaware of my condition and could not assume what I meant, she assumed that I was taking illegal substances at the age of 12.
They do now.
I really can't imagine what was going through her mind. I do that you own the booger sugar. That's
I kid you not. We when I was in like middle school, just like this, we had a coffee club next to the school, like a little convenience store. And our goal by the end of the basketball game was to get the free coffee. So we were just pounding coffees, which filled with sugar.
Oh my God.
And then the other thing is my buddy had this like a pen like this, but on the inside of the cap, his uncle, who was like a trickster, sent in. It was like a little cap gun thing. So when you would open it, it would snap. And so in the bathroom for all the younger kids, we were like, "Oh, we want your autograph." And they would open it and it would snap. So my mom picks me up and he gave me the pen. I'm high on sugar. And my mom like comes in and she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And she's a nurse and she sees this pen in my pocket when she goes to wash my pants. And she comes in and she's like, "Is this a roach clip?" And I honestly had never heard those words. Just like that kid probably had no idea. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because the little clip, I was like, "Mom, you're telling me way more about what your past was like right now." And I'm just like, it was so innocent. And like to this day, I'll never forget that. This poor kid's like, "I'm high." And like, then you need to go to the nurse.
Oh my gosh.
A whole other reason.
Yes. All right. In high school one day, we had a sub. Okay, this is great. That let us watch Netflix on the projector. Okay, this is so Lego
it's
movie.
harmless so far.
So harmless, very Lego movie. Okay. His computer had 2 browsers. This is so smart. One with Netflix and one with National Geographic.
Sounds like one of the kids.
Oh, this is great. He really does. Yeah. This way, if someone walked in, he could just swipe right and it would seem like they were watching a nature documentary. Guys, this is just brilliant. We need to hire him for a while.
Him already.
Okay, well, the principal walked in. Sure enough, the TV was quickly turned to Nat Geo. And it turns out, okay, so this is the twist. The principal was the substitute's mom, and he wasn't even a real teacher. He just needed a job after he got out of jail for stealing cars.
Yeah, I could see that happening because we have in our school sometimes too, like kids who have graduated college now who are like secretary's son or daughter.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I'll be like, see them in the hallway. I'm like, "You used to play basketball for me when you were in 7th grade. And now they're covering Mr. Davis's class down the hall."
No, that part makes sense, but out of jail?
Yeah, that part. Well, if it's a small town, you know everything about everybody when something happens.
True.
So.
We don't know.
That's true. That's true.
They don't
That's
say
true.
where their submission's from.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. A few years ago, this is some craziness. All our kids get the MacBook Air. Every child gets a MacBook Air. It's crazy, right? They're issued that for the year. And our kids a few years ago, we got a letter from Netflix, from corporate, and they said that our district was using more bandwidth than any other district in the nation between the hours of 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Y'all, that's school. That's school.
Ours is banned now.
They were just watching
you can't
movies.
You can't do
All
Prime.
that,
You
all
can't
day.
do anything now. The minute you type it in, you have to like set a hotspot on your phone. Like that's the workaround now. They're just setting hotspots on their phone.
I know, but only teachers can't get in. You know, I always have a kid tell me the proxy.
Right.
I can't get in.
right.
And
They know how to
can't
do
tell-
it.
You guys, when they ban stuff, the kids can still get in.
It
It's
takes a
just
thief.
me trying to show my little educational film that it won't work.
I can't get them to write me a paper, but they know how to be a hacker.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and circumvent Google.
That's right.
What is it? Go Guardian.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
Guardian.
Oh, yeah. They go on the
Yep.
proxy thing.
Now you're like Ethan Hawke from Mission Impossible. Yeah. Can't write a paper, but you know how to circumvent Go Guardian and find a way to bypass security.
They're like Ocean's 11 in there. It's just
They
like,
are. Why can't they use their powers for good instead of evil?
I know.
Why can't they understand that they are brilliant? Like, why don't they use those powers?
They're showing us that if we ever need some help, and you be good to those kids because you might need them down the road.
I taught in Tulsa for a year.
Yeah.
And somebody had hacked into the city of Tulsa's water supply.
Oh.
And they held it hostage. Like it was like they was
Oh,
wanting
no.
so much money. Like say if you don't give us, we'll messing up people's bills and everything, and we're shutting
crap.
off water and all this stuff.
Oh, no.
And come to find out, it was like I guess it was a student from there, like
Yeah, like a
a local,
A local. Wow.
And I'm like, I didn't know that you guys taught them that.
Oh my God.
Coding is going a long way.
Right. And
So from my keyboarding class.
but the fact that he turned into like one of those 70s movies villains, the
Yeah.
one, I'm going to take the town's water supply.
I love it. I mean, out of everything too, the water supply. Like,
Right. What is this?
that's major.
I mean, he would have killed it in Oregon Trail. You kidding me? It's like-
Oh man, he had like 6 wagon tongues, and he didn't even get dysentery. Like that's really good. I love it.
I have a story that is they already tell us it's gonna make us angry. So it's got the makings of a beautiful story.
Let me get my frown lines together.
I love it.
I'm gonna bring it in. Here we
Okay,
go. I had a long-term sub that was the sole reason I decided to change schools.
Ooh.
I was sick and went to school sick. All right, that's already an ominous tone. I had no choice. My mom forced me. That's the trial of my mom was a nurse. You think I threw up? She said, clean it up and get on the bus. All right.
Oh.
That's how my mom was. So I already feel for this person. I had severe diarrhea and had to go back so bad during class. I was getting the chills. My stomach was growling so loud. All the other kids were making laughs and making gag signs. The sub told me no bathroom breaks until the end of the period. These are my rules. Why do subs do that? Like, I get it. You have no authority. You're coming into this building. You're going to see these kids for one day, and they treat it like some drill sergeant.
Yes.
Like it's full metal jacket, and they're just going to get down, and you got to give me 20. And I get that mentality, but the poor kids, here's the problem. People go into these things, and they treat every kid like Bart Simpson. But they forget Lisa's also in this class. Right. You know what I mean? And this is like a pure of Lisa Simpson just trying to get through the day because she wants to learn.
Right. Yeah.
And you're all coming down on her heart. She's like, I was young and super shy, so I tried to hold it rather than argue with her.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up not being able to hold it and crapped my pants in front of everyone.
Oh.
Let me say that again.
Oh, that's so
crapped
bad.
my pants in front of everyone.
That's so flipping scary. That's so sad.
There's more to this
Impossible.
story.
There's more. I'm sorry, but when you said crap the pants, I was like,
it's done there.
I was like, scene
So
and
apparently-
scene.
Wait a minute, how can
What's
it possibly
more?
get worse than
There's
this?
no way it can get
This
worse.
sub apparently has a bad track record because a few months later, another girl was in the class, was wearing a skirt, and it was that time of the month. I'll tell you what, you say it's that time, you're a girl, go.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if I ever see you again.
Yes.
No questions.
You go. Because she was wearing a skirt apparently, and on the chair was the trail.
Oh, that's not good.
Because he wouldn't let her go?
He wouldn't let her go. Wouldn't let her go. She sat there, and then when she got up, ooh. So this happened. So now the parents of that girl tried to sue the school.
Wait, it's still more?
There's more.
So now that girl apparently had heard about her crapping her pants.
Oh.
And then the girl who had the situation in that period went through. But here's the thing. So they went to sue the sub. And they're not sure what the outcome was, but they never saw that sub again at the school.
I'm telling you, anytime. Subs, listen. To save yourself a lot of trouble, if anybody needs to get up and use the bathroom, just let them go. Period. Boop.
Oh my God.
Good stuff
Top
right
that
there.
one.
Good.
I want you to top that one. What do you got?
I cannot top
Show
that
me the
one.
money.
I have one, though. That's a real quick one. I have a sub for algebra that once told my class that he could not be bothered to follow the lesson plans that our teacher left. Shocker. Instead, he told the entire class to get on their phones and research cars because he was looking for a new used car.
Oh, it's
new
research.
used. I need a new used one. I mean, it's used.
New to me.
it's new.
He told everyone that whoever finds the car that he likes the most, he would buy their lunch.
Oh, I'm in. Okay.
Okay, it sounds like a good little icebreaker.
Yeah.
Little brain break.
He's brilliant.
This guy is substitute of the year, if you ask me.
He's having them research. He's creating competition. This is good.
Economic.
This
That's
is it
good.
is economics.
I'm even going to go above and beyond that. He first started out looking for a car himself,
Yeah.
and then they all looked together,
Oh, that's
and then he told them to look on their own. That's
workshop
I do,
model.
we do, you do. Come on.
That's just smart.
This is workshop model. You're right. This is good. He's killing it.
Oh, but wait a minute. But then it says here at the end, you know how he told everybody that he was going to buy them lunch?
Yeah, of course.
He said at the end of the class, he told everyone that was a joke and he wasn't buying anybody lunch.
This is where he went
that's
stupid.
where
Because if you're going with the lie, just go with the lie and be like, listen, guys, I'm going to take all of the stories from all of the classes today, and the one who has the best, one who gives me the best car is going to get it. And then he just rides off into the sunset in his new car, new to him, and nobody ever knows. Why mess that up? It's like when I have points in my class. I have these participation points, and like I'll just add them up on the board whenever they do something cool. And then if they do something bad, if I have to stop and I'm doing that thing where I'm just counting, they're like, he's counting, and I just start deducting off the board, and they freak out. Those points mean nothing. Those points do nothing.
Now that's brilliant. That comes from
it's smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Like they think there's a Wizard of Oz. There's a man behind a curtain. Okay.
Yeah.
But like this guy, in terms of this is a project. This is
real world application.
The other ones we're talking about busy work with the MMA fighter. The MMA fighter had a cool project like this. We might have avoided the whole thing. They might have not learned about Mr. Hyde, and they just had Dr. Jekyll.
Yes.
But this guy's got it. You know what I mean? This guy's smart.
Yeah, it's real world application.
So what I do in my Spanish classes, and this is brilliant. So I give them a budget, and I'm like, hey, here is $2,000. You and your 3 classmates in your group have to plan a vacation. I don't give them many parameters. I'm just saying you're going June 16th because that's when school ended, and I want to see how long you can go.
I see where this is going.
And they have to plan this out. Do you know how many of these vacations I have taken over the years? And they have to go. They have to show me what site they went to with the full URLs, and it's just I can't tell you how many vacations I've taken.
And this group does excursions, and
these
this group does meal
kids,
plans.
and I bring in the pictures the next year so they can see how their work went to. But in all honesty, the kids are there. That's the part that teaching can be fun. It can be fun because you can do a cool project. They're learning all of this stuff.
And it's real.
Listen. When I'm at home, they're like, oh, well, you should be doing that research at home. Yeah, guess what? I'm grading their papers at home. Yeah. So this is effective use of time, and that should go on my permanent record, okay? Because that is just good, sound pedagogy.
And they can use it. They can use you can, anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And maybe they could if there's...
They could.
Some of them are driving Teslas, all right? I drive a Prius from like 10 years ago, okay?
Yeah.
So this is a time served, okay? I have this coming to me, all right?
In preparation for hybrid learning.
Hybrid learning. I see what you did there.
I did it. I just want to let you know that I like the fact that he said, I refuse to do this lesson plan. Like, because we were like, oh, shocker, right? So I want to give a shout out to Mr. White. So Mr. White, he subs K through 12 and all these different districts, and he refuses to teach the lesson. And he doesn't do it in a mean way, but he is really passionate about sea turtles. He loves sea turtles. I mean, I think he has a personalized license plate, the whole thing. And so he brings, depending on the grade level, he'll bring like coloring pages, and he'll show like videos and stuff. And then he has the kids draw and color sea turtles. And he
every time you say
and I mean, it's so sweet. I love him. But it's okay. And at K through 12, it's the same coloring page. But so I don't know about all that if it's curricular, but for the grade level. But he also has them draw him. So he has this collection. Now, even if it's not art, I'm just saying, like AP geography, he's doing this. But anyway, they draw like a personal picture of him. He is a former principal. And this is just what he's doing in his golden years. I think it's wonderful. And
that's cute.
And he's human and he's upright. So there's a sub. But he's also really kind. And it's going to be sea turtles. I don't care if it's EOC prep. I don't care if it's ACT. Nothing matters. It's going to be sea turtles.
Well, here's the thing about sub plans. Listen, I don't know about you, but sub plans for me were like whatever came up at 4 a.m. when my kid was projectile vomiting.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, what can I throw together in 90 minutes while I'm cleaning and caring for them? So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there are some teachers out there that have forethought and make amazing emergency sub plans, but mine are like, so if somebody wants to go rogue because they have a passion on sea turtles.
He's so passionate.
There's like a TED Talk. He's given a TED Talk every period, and he's talking about sea turtles.
Yes.
I'm for it. Like I said, when Mr. Janda covered my class and he taught them how to tie a tie and talked about the gazebo he won at Price is Right. Have at it. There's value there. Just like we ask the principals to trust us as teachers, then we have to trust that sub's doing whatever they need to make sure that group of kids in that moment, because they're a different class. So you could say, oh, I know those kids, but you don't know those kids when there's a sub in the room, right? When the cat's away, the mice will play.
100%.
And that's the truth. So you know what? Subs, just like the autonomy we want from our admin, then we have to give that to the subs to say, you know what? You were in that class for the 45 minutes.
Yep.
I wasn't there. I don't know what was going on. You do you, boo. Yes. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, we just need an adult in the room.
Whoa, that reminds me. Okay, so this was so great. You don't need an adult in the room. That's why it reminded me of that, because we had a class. And this was years ago. The teacher called out. It never got reported. A sub never got assigned. All 5 of her classes, honor students, shut the door. Not just put on a movie, put on whatever they had been watching. And it was like a foreign language class. So they were watching it in the, target language. And they just went on and they did the day. So all of the classes just had this unwritten rule. They went in, they shut the door, and then about the end of the day, someone finally checked in and saw what had happened.
Oh my gosh!
But they took care of themselves. They did it, and kudos to them, and kudos to the teacher, because guess what? If you build that rapport, I have my best friend. One of my best friends is a teacher. His name's Joe Faust. So give him a shout out. He literally makes a video now, and so when he's absent, it's a video of him teaching, and so he makes the sub say, hey, tell them they're watching a movie today, and then he puts it on and it's him teaching math.
That's cool.
It gets them all pumped up. You remember they don't get this anymore. Do you guys remember when the teacher would roll the cart in with the TV on it, and it was like
sounds of the 80s.
So that's what his notes was like. You need to amp it up, just like back in the day when they would roll that card in, and they were like, no, it's just going to be Mr. Faust teaching algebra today.
That's so smart, though. That's brilliant. I love that.
So does he still should get paid for that day?
That's the kind of discussion we need to be having.
Yes.
Because when COVID went down
virtual.
And we went virtual, and I was the one everybody was asking how to do stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep. I was like 18 hours a day, and finally I just started making videos.
Yeah.
So I'm making videos on all the tools and all of this. All of that time, did I see anything from that?
No,
not a dime. But I did it for the greater good. That's fine. But at the end of the day, if you're now going to nickel and dime me or do something like you do teachers about, don't get out from the buses, make sure you're here at whatever time.
Yeah.
Then we got to talk about some quid pro quo for that intellectual property. That's why I said kudos to the guy who used his time wisely to look for a car while figuring out a way to educate the kids at the same time. Because if I have to maximize my life and be in a dance recital for my daughter, and when she's not up, that's when I grade somebody else's paper when she's taking a break.
Terrible.
Then I shouldn't have to decide that as a parent. I should be able to be an awesome parent and an awesome teacher, because you know what I mean?
I totally agree. It sucks how much they sometimes prey on us, because they're like, well, it's for the kids. It's like, well, of course it is. We love the kids, but we need time for self-care. We need some downtime too. And they don't respect that. But
well, they're like, oh, well, we got these you can use this while you're at the doctor's office. You can grade people's papers now while you're sitting. And it's like too much. Now it's and then AI is the next thing we'll be talking about.
Well, everybody, listen, man, this has been one heck of an episode, right? It's the kickoff.
It's the kickoff. I think it was awesome.
I do too.
I had a great time, man. These sub stories were crazy.
We talked about these crazy sub stories, but listen, speaking of you substitutes out there, listen, thank you. We appreciate you. Keep on keeping on. Listen, any kind of subs that are out there that are still showing up.
Yes.
We love you.
If you show up, we love you.
Yes, we love you.
Yes.
And keep on helping our kids and keep on giving us great material, because we also need that as well.
But we really do thank you so much for all you do. Truly, you make our jobs easier.
So listen, man, before we get out of here, Andrea, tell the lovely educators where they can find you and how they can follow you and get more of you.
Well, if you guys jump on Facebook, it's Andrea Caspari Comedy. And then on Instagram, it's Caspari Land, CASP as in Paul, ARI Land. And then on TikTok, it's Caspari Land Comedy, because I couldn't get back into my Caspari Land, the handle on that one.
What about MySpace?
I couldn't get back
what
into
about
my account.
MySpace?
Hold on.
And I don't have anything on MySpace.
This sounds like you need one of them kids to help you hack into that. We'll find
I know. I do need a kid to help me hack. But I do need a kid to help me hack in.
And you can find me at Jay Yoder Comedy on all the platforms.
See, that's what I wanted.
Yeah. And you can follow me at Casey Mack Funny on all the platforms. And speaking of following, since you're on that follow train, choo-choo, make sure you follow the Teachers Off Duty podcast and Board Teachers on all social media platforms. And listen, because this is the tour, right?
Yeah.
This is all about the comedy takeover.
Yes.
There's a lot of great access that we're about to give you guys to. And this is the behind the scenes to all the behind the scenes on the tour stuff.
Yes.
Green
room. And all those are so fun.
The games
In
we're
the
gonna be
van,
playing.
in the van.
In the van. If you get in the right van,
Yes.
it's a lot of fun.
Down by the river.
Yes.
We got some games that we're going to be playing. So listen, you can access this exclusive content on the Teachers Off Duty Premium, and that is on Supercast. So listen, guys.
Sounds good.
This is the kickoff of a new era. And remember, if you guys have not had the opportunity to actually be a part of the Board Teachers Comedy Tour experience, you need to know where we're coming next. And listen, September, we have a lot of good shows. So first of all, we're going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Tucson, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and Anaheim, California.
Disneyland.
Then we're going to Saginaw, Michigan, Cincinnati, Ohio, Skokie, Illinois, and Bloomington, Illinois.
Yay. And we're coming to Riverside, Iowa, and Northwood, Iowa, and Rockford, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri.
Let's get it started.
Let's get started.
I'm not going to karaoke.
I don't know. Somebody say cut so I can stop dancing.